Good evening. Merry Christmas. 성탄 축하드립니다. And welcome to the Christmas Around the World, sponsored by Columbia International Festival and International Friendship Ministries. My name is Jae-hoon Che, and I'm from Korea. Festival director Dr. Raj Alluri invited me as a part of the festival's volunteer committee to serve as MC for this year's Christmas program. Tonight, you will hear Christmas music and learn about Christmas traditions in various parts of the world. And here is Dr. Alluri to introduce this evening's celebration. Dr. Alluri?
Thank you for joining us tonight for Christmas Around the World, presented to you by Columbia International Festival and International Friendship Ministries. In all past years, we had the same event in person at this IFM location, but for this year, we had to settle it virtually because of the pandemic situation we're all in. But we have put together a great program for you from around the world to celebrate Christmas around the world. And also, we are looking forward to in-person, same event like we have done in many years in the past, this coming June, Columbia International Festival at the State Fairgrounds. We are planning and hoping June 1st weekend that pandemic will be behind us and we'll have a great time with cultural entertainment, national exhibits, bazaar vendors, food, and everything else that goes with the international festival. And we're looking forward to having a great time there again. I'm so sad and sorry that we had to cancel last year's event, but we're going to combine both last year's and coming 2021 event together, and we hope to have a great time together again. Thank you so much and enjoy the evening.
Normally, the festival committee and many of our friends gather at the International Friendship Center on Pickens Street to celebrate Christmas. Because of COVID-19, we cannot celebrate in person like we do most years. But this year, more than ever, we and our wonderful sponsors wanted to bring the international character of Christmas to you. This holiday is officially celebrated in over 150 countries. And although we celebrate in different ways, the universal themes of peace and joy shine through. Why not get on the phone and invite a friend to enjoy the celebration with you? Later, we will honor the Community Ambassador of the Year and also give you an update about 2021 Columbia International Festival. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so that you get notified when new programs go live. Thanks again for joining us. We hope you will sit back and enjoy Christmas Around the World.
Hi, my name is Gigi, representing Mexico tonight. I'm a vocal performance and math major at the University of South Carolina. Feliz Navidad is one of the world's most popular Christmas songs with lyrics in Spanish and English. We hope you'll sing along with us at home, joyfully wishing each other a very Merry Christmas.
Navidad. sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, when the triumph of the Son. Faith angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
महाख्रिस्त जन्मला जगद्गुरु एकला गुप्त त्यास सविती प्रभु राजा वर्णिती सारा मान द्या त्याला त्या सुवर्ण देवाला अवतार घेतला बेथलेहेमी जन्मला अवतार घेतला बेथलेहेमी जन्मला
Fröhliche Weihnachten, or Merry Christmas in German, we represent Bavaria, which is southern Germany. German Christmas traditions run deep and have migrated all over the world, and you haven't really tasted Christmas until you've tasted some German Stollen or fruitcake. German Christian reformer Martin Luther is credited with popularizing the indoor Christmas tree. And songs such as Silent Night and O Christmas Tree were originally written in German, Stille Nacht and O Tannenbaum. The Walhalla Bavarian dancers have performed at the Columbia International Festival for many years, even in the last century. And we certainly look forward to being there together again with all of you. But for right now, just stand up where you are and let's all join together in dancing to Frank Yankovic's old-fashioned Christmas polka. Let's polka!
Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas polka on this happy holiday. Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas polka and throw our cares away. We'll gather around the old piano and sing all the songs we know. You play banjo, I'll play bass, while Frankie sets the pace. Let it snow, here we go. Hey! Hey! Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas polka on this happy holiday. Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas polka and throw our cares away. We'll gather around the old piano and sing all the songs we know. You play banjo, I'll play bass, while Frankie sets the pace. Merry Christmas! Let it snow, here we go. Hey! Hey!
We hope you've enjoyed this Christmas music from around the world. There is more to come later. Now let's turn our attention to Germany's neighbors for an introduction to Christmas customs in Scandinavia and in Switzerland, presented by Carolinians whom we hope you recognize from their many years of participation in the Columbia International Festival.
Sancta Lucia. Sancta Lucia tells the story of Lucia, a symbol of light amid the darkness, and is one of the largest celebrations around Christmas time in Sweden. Her feast day is celebrated on December 13th. Lucia was born far away from Sweden, in southern Italy, in the 3rd century AD. Her name, Lucy, in fact means light. She is known as Santa Lucia to the Italians, Sancta Lucia to the Swedes, and Saint Lucy to English speakers. Sancta Lucia Day first became widely celebrated in Sweden in the late 1700s. It is also celebrated in Denmark, Norway, Finland, and several other countries. The story of Lucia, a strong part of Swedish culture, has somewhat mysterious origins. We do know December 13th was also the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, and previously an old pagan festival of lights. However, it is not clear how the saint from Sicily became Sweden's beacon of light during the darkest period of the year. One popular legend among Swedish Americans tells of a woman in white standing in the bow of a boat crossing Lake Värnen. She was bringing food to the people dying of hunger in Värmland during a famine many years ago. She wore a wreath in her hair crowned with a ring of lighted candles. To this day, December 13th is one of the high points of the Christmas season, and candles are lit all over Sweden to bear light against the darkness, as Lucia did. On the morning of the 13th, the oldest daughter of the family in Sweden takes on the role of Lucia, wearing a long white gown sashed in red, with a wreath of lingonberry leaves in her hair. The crown of lingonberry branches are evergreen and symbolize new life in winter. Candles, now often run on batteries, are set into the wreath. Her sisters wear white dresses and tinsel in their hair and around their waists. Boys in the family wear tall, pointed hats with stars on them. On this holiday, children awaken their parents early in the morning with coffee, saffron-flavored buns called lussekatter, and ginger snaps called pepparkakor. Schools normally have their own Sancta Lucia, and some towns and villages also choose a girl to play Sancta Lucia in a procession where carols are sung. Lucias also visit hospitals and elderly people's homes, singing songs about the saint and handing out traditional Christmas cookies. And that is the story of Sancta Lucia.
Hello and welcome. We would like to invite you now to a little trip to Switzerland, to Swiss celebrations when it comes to Christmas season, and we would like to show you a few of our traditions we celebrate within families, communities, or just as a nation. I would like to introduce you to my wife Cornelia.
Guten Tag miteinander. Ich wünsche euch eine ganz schöne Reise in die Weihnachtszeit.
Well, that was pretty cool.
Thank you.
Let's go and start. Willkommen, bienvenue, bienvenuti, cordial, benvenuti. Welcome. We are in Switzerland, a little bigger than the state of Maryland, offering 4 languages, 3 major regions and 2 state religions. I am glad to offer you a short trip through our traditions and family festivities when it comes to Christmas. For this, we have to go back in history, discovering some wonderful people and some wonderful traditions which made their way into our present time. We're talking about the Christkind, Babbo Natale, Père Noël, the Samichlaus, Saint Nicolaus, Santa Claus, and I would like to invite you to discover all these different characters during the next few slides and minutes. Don't worry, you don't have to read all the texts, but you have to know that with our state religions, which is the Catholic one and the Protestant/Lutheran one, we have 2 major people and persons which are characteristic for our Christmas season. So it is Santa Claus from Saint Nicolaus, and it is the Christkind, which comes on the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, while Santa Claus is another very popular person which comes on his birthday, December 6th, and he always has been seen and is seen by the people because he is not coming through the chimney in the dark night, he is coming with his donkey and his servant Schmutzli, but about this we talk a little later. You see, Santa Claus, as we say, der Samichlaus, his servant Schmutzli, and the donkey, fully loaded with the gifts, presents for the children, comes out from the wood into town, into our villages, and visits everyone who wants to meet him. And you see, he wears his thick book with all the history of the children's behavior from the past year. So better be good. About the story of Santa Claus, I will talk a little later. But see, in the villages, in the little towns, in the towns, he is always welcomed, and even celebrations like Drachselmärsche or Klausparaden, we honor his presence while he comes and checks about us what we did the whole year. And he knows everything about our behavior. Well, the story of Sankt Niklaus of Myra, he was a pastor, became a bishop, and he became a saint because during his life he always came in the winter and he celebrated the giving and the joy of giving to the children. He came with nuts, mandarins, bread, little gifts, and he became famous through the whole history. Some companies, we know them very good, made a complete different picture out of him, but this is another story. He is a saint, and that's why he is celebrated on some specific regions in Switzerland. They are linked to the Catholic Church, but you will see this a little later then as well. Our Christkind never was meant to be a child. It's just a bright light invented by Martin Luther when he came with the Lutheran Bible and faith. So he said, we have to have something that shows us the glory of God and Jesus' birth. So the bright light became a shape of an angel, which then became the shape of a child, of an angel's child, because the children are waiting on the Christmas Eve for their gifts. And this is another just very specific tradition we have in our little country, and I'm glad to tell you a little bit more in the next few slides about this. See the shape of Switzerland, and you recognize some blue parts, some red parts, which belongs to the Catholic Church or to the Lutheran Church. The Catholic Church recognizes saints as a part of their faith, and the Lutheran Church just denies this, saying there is God, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost. And this is the difference you may recognize between the Santa Claus and the Christkind celebration. So on this, the Christkind is the 24th of December, while Santa Claus comes on the 6th of December. Not to mix up this, we said, okay, Santa Claus is a part of the celebrations as well. And that's why our children have twice a kind of a gifted day. Christmas as a family celebration, a family festivity, a part of the church's year, only comes since the end of the Second World War. You have to imagine that Europe, completely destroyed, had to rebuild completely. And with this, they came the wishes, what we would like to have, what would be nice, what would be amazing. And there were so many children wishing just little toys or gifts for their playing hours or instruments. So with the commercial boom that came with the rebuild of this continent of Europe, they came Christmas Eve as the evening of the gifts. On this map you find Europe, an old construction of many nations, and as you can see, all the different names which are used to celebrate Christmas, with the Christmas child, with the Père Noël, Daddy Christmas, Santa Claus, and many, many other characters, all for the same thing. When you see the red square, you can see in this square Switzerland is, and there is an influence from France, Germany, Austria, Italy, and that's why we celebrate in each region a kind of a different Christmas, but still honoring the same event. And Santa Claus, watching from the United States to Europe, becomes more and more, I would say, important, but only because many, many products of the United States are swapping over during Christmas season, representing the American way of Christmas and of course the American person for Christmas, which is Santa. But let's go back to Switzerland. Let's go back to the season before Christmas, when it starts to prepare for the most important festivity of the year. A wonderful tradition of the season before the Christmas Eve are the Christkindmarkt we have in many towns. You know, European towns are built since centuries, so there is always a major place in the center of town which will be transformed into a Christkindmarkt, where you can buy homemade food, cookies, art, toys, and sometimes at the same moment you will see Santa Claus passing by, just with his donkey, and Schmutzli saying hello or check the book about you.
We hope you like it so far. Let's continue.
Another Swiss tradition, well, it's a bit different, but you know that the Swiss Guard is protecting the Pope, the Pontifict, since 1506. And this special unit is as well responsible for the Christmas celebrations when it comes to receiving very important guests from all over the world for the Christmas festivities in St. Peter. Well, my personal memory about this is that I was an instructor for this unit and I've got my medal from the Pope himself, which makes me a little bit proud. So this is just a kind of Switzerland out in Rome. Leaving the German-speaking part of Switzerland, leaving a little bit of Rome with the Swiss Guard, we come to the French part of Switzerland, speaking French 100%. So with the culture from France swapping into Switzerland, we are talking about Père Noël and we're talking about Swiss chocolate. Because in this part we have one of the famous plant producing the world's best chocolate. Believe me, I lived right beside. It's the world of Caillé. It's not a commercial right now, but I just have to say it because it's so amazing. Even Santa is a little bit sweeter there. Switching from French-speaking part of Switzerland to the southern part of Switzerland, we are arriving in the Ticino, Italian-speaking and facing the border of Italy. So there we talk about Babbo Natale, which is Père Noël, which of course would be Daddy Christmas. Same tradition, same ceremonies, same event, but just another name for one of the most important persons during the seasons all over our nation. Christmas always means that family meet again. Maybe since a long time you see each other, you're invited. Usually the parents are the center spot, invited are the grandparents, and the children enjoy a nice arranged table with some really delicious food on it. We're talking about the Swiss cheese fondue, we're talking about the fondue chinoise, we're talking about a chouffali. A chouffali, that's a nicely decorated cut ham served with homemade potato salad, and then of course the table has been arranged very nice. It's just a very specific and a very important moment before the Christkind may arrive and come with the gifts. But for this, then the kids have to leave again and wait for the bell. We talked about this before. Christmas as we know it in Switzerland. You see my grandparents, you see my sister, myself, and there is a real tree with real candles burning. Usually we sung some songs and we heard the story about the birth of Jesus. And then we were allowed to check if one of the gifts under the tree has our name tag on it. And of course we enjoyed to discover, because it was once a year you got a gift. Another tradition, after the Christmas Eve, the next morning on Christmas Day, there was the church's worship at about 9 o'clock in the morning. always special, always nicely arranged, with a choir, with the organ playing, and the whole community sung the traditional Christmas songs we all know in mostly all languages when it comes to Christianity. Just go ahead and try to sing with us. Of course, every year again, there was the cooking of the cookies. That usually was Mother's deal, while we kids were allowed to decorate or to help her with our super cool knowledge. The sweeter, the better. But no. She knew since generations the family receipts, how they had to be made. And so with this, even this is a tradition, we continue that the cookies are a little history on themselves. Maybe I can tell you on another moment about this, but they are so tasty. Christmas season in Switzerland, family tradition, it's always linked to love each other, be good, try to be better, think about others, think about the blessings you have, not the problems. And it's always a moment we reflect how good the year was and how happy we can be just to celebrate the birth of Jesus. And it's always very decorative, linked to social events, meet each other, and maybe this will be a little bit different this year. I'll talk about this in a minute. Well, not much to say on this slide. It shows me jumped into Santa's costume. Maybe I did good enough back in 1981 to help him out for the day, and so I had the chance to meet all these bright eyes of the children when they saw me coming with my servant Schmutzli, and we walked through town with a donkey. And so with this, I had for once in my life the feeling how it is to be Santa. And I can tell you, this is a really good feeling. Worth to be good and try to make it once yourself. Before we come to the end of this short trip through Switzerland, which of course is not completed and which of course is just two-dimensional. There is missing so many characters, so many details. I just try to give you a short picture of what traditions in Switzerland can and may be, and of course are. But look forward, we have COVID-19. We have to take care about what we're doing. We have to take care about each other. We have to stay safe. And this is, I think, the message I can, even in Switzerland, here around, say to everyone. Take care, be safe, and thank you for joining me and my wife during our trip to Switzerland and its traditions about Christmas season. Thank you so very much. Take care and have a blessed holiday season, y'all. Well, here we are. End of the story, maybe. Beginning of a new story, maybe as well. That's what Albert Einstein, another Swiss, once told. When I could awake your interest to discover more about the rest of the world, or Switzerland in specific, that would be my wish for Christmas. Have a blessed holiday season, all y'all. Greetings and virtual hugs from Summerton, South Carolina. Take care. Bye-bye. So that's it. It only was an overview. Never ever we could tell you everything and every detail we would love to, but I think this would fill a whole evening we, of course, could enjoy together. Anyway, thank you for staying with us. We hope you liked it a little bit, and now it's just saying, as we always do, Connie, please.
Ich wünsche euch eine recht schöne Weihnacht und ein gutes Neues. Und Merry
Christmas. Goodbye.
Bye.
Please, man.
We trust that you are among the tens of thousands of guests or hundreds of volunteers who have enjoyed the Columbia International Festival, a showcase of the culture, cuisine, and talents of foreign-born residents who live here in Central South Carolina. You are looking at clips of celebrations from several previous years. We were all heartbroken when COVID-19 forced cancellation last April. It was to be our 25th annual festival, with a special focus on India for the first time. As you know, the pandemic is still with us, and it doesn't look like it will be safe to meet in large groups by April 2021. So we will again have to postpone the Columbia International Festival. But mark your calendar for June 5th and 6th. We hope that conditions in June will make it safe enough to celebrate together at the South Carolina State Fairgrounds in Columbia. Be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and also register on Google Docs linked to this YouTube video. That way, we can keep you posted about developing news related to the festival and future YouTube premieres. If you prefer, write to us at festival@ifmusa.org. In the past, the first day of the festival weekend was Global Education Day, when thousands of school children and their teachers visited the SC State Fairgrounds. Students visited exhibitors from around 100 nations, getting their passports stamped as they interacted and learned about their world. Many also ate a pizza lunch and enjoyed an interesting and entertaining stage presentation. Because of the virus and its effect on schools, the 2021 Columbia International Festival will not feature Global Education Day. But to help teachers with all important multicultural lessons, we will make portions of tonight's presentation available on our YouTube channel. We'll also invite children to send in original art, competing for prizes. Please write to us for more information. As you enjoy a few more clips from the past, we want to thank you again for joining us tonight and for supporting the biggest multicultural celebration in the Midlands. We are grateful to our sponsors for believing that South Carolina needs an opportunity to see firsthand that people from many lands live and work in our community. Together, we can celebrate the diversity that each ethnic group brings as we work to build a better community for ourselves and for our children. The Columbia International Festival, where the world comes together. At each Columbia International Festival, we delight to honor men and women in our community who are making a difference. Tonight, we are very pleased to introduce the 2020 Community Ambassador of the Year, the Honorable Richland County Council Member, Mr. Jim Manning.
It is my pleasure and honor to introduce to you Mr. Jim Manning, with a long history of public and social service, a great friend of the international community, and a 3-term Richland County Council member. I have a personal title I use for him, and I call him Mr. Richland County International. I know no other American-born person in public service as internationally minded and cares about international people in Richland County than Mr. Manning. His efforts transformed and renamed Decker Boulevard as the international corridor of our county. Over the years, he has been a great friend for the international community and a strong supporter of the Columbia International Festival for many years. The Columbia International Festival chooses each year a well-deserved American-born who has been making a significant contribution in efforts to bridge the gap between the foreign-born and the locals. Mr. Manning has a distinguished and unparalleled record of connecting with various international communities in our county. On behalf of the Columbia International Festival Committee and the Board of Directors, it's my honor, privilege, and pleasure to introduce to you my friend and friend of the international community, the Honorable Richland County Council member, the recipient of the 2020 International Community Ambassador of the Year Award, Mr. Jim Manning.
It has been such an honor as I've served on Richland County that you have become my dear friend, and you've been so instrumental in the work that you've done throughout Richland County and the Midlands. And when I was elected to represent District 8, we have the International Corridor, Decker Boulevard, and so many of the international community live around the Decker Boulevard area. And one of the things that I told them when I ran was that I was going to listen and I was going to learn. And I'm so pleased that God had our paths cross, because Dr. Laura, you have done so much incredible work, and you taught me, and through the International Festival, had the opportunity to go and learn so many things about the culture, to see the folks in their dress, to eat the different international foods. So the festival was always an annual opportunity for me to learn and grow and to be motivated, energized to go into the next year and look at ways in which my colleagues and I could work with the kind of things that the county government can do around the interest that would be there for the international community. And you have so many contacts and done such great work, and you took a lot of time to help me learn and others of my colleagues about what we needed to do. So while you're honoring me, and I greatly appreciate it, I totally have to honor you as well for all your work and what you did to help mentor and educate and shape me to be in a position to best serve the needs and interests of our international community in Richland County. So again, I thank you and the association for this incredible honor.
Before we wrap up tonight's celebration, let's again enjoy the sounds of Christmas music. Christmas is the season of giving. Just as the wise men brought gifts from afar to the baby Jesus, we love to give gifts to people near and far, and especially to children. The reggae music group Christafari has given us permission to include their new video of Go Tell It on the Mountain in Jamaican style, which also shows the wonderful work of Samaritan's Purse to send Christmas gift boxes to needy people all over the world. Many Caribbean nations have participated every year at the Columbia International Festival since it began in 1996. After Go Tell It, at the request of Festival Committee member, we will present holiday music from Trinidad and Tobago.
Christ is born. While shepherds kept their watching over silent flocks by night, behold, throughout the heavens there shone a holy light. Go moment of salvation on that blessed Christmas morn. Yeah, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. When I was a kid, Christmas was all about opening up presents. Now it's all about being open to God's presence. While this is my favorite time of the year to tell of my Savior to anyone who'll hear. Yes, this is my favorite season of cheer to tell him he's here. Tell him he's here. Well, this is my favorite season of love to tell of my Savior that's sent from above. Yes, this is my favorite time of the year to tell him he's here. Jesus is here. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. I never see a parang sight so going house to house by people that they know. I joined the band in front by Sharon, and when I reached the door, we started singing this one. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration.
I joined the band not just for Christmas cheer. I hear that plenty Spanish woman living down here. I looking for wine, me and no shame. So I'm moving with the band, playing the game. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration.
Well, I reach and I'm feeling great. Oh yeah, yeah. What a feast. I full up a plate. Oh yeah, yeah. I go sing some parang. Oh yeah, yeah. And I bring the young. Yeah, man. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. Every year, I just make me barrel of rum. But this year, I decide that I am making none. A parang in hand with no liquor. And every house I hit, I'm drinking out the chaser. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration.
These fellas pass by me and they tip everything. But I ain't get hurries, cause I love me parangin'. I decide to fall in and join the session. This one only telling me how he loves Spanish woman. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. Merry Christmas. celebration. I joined the band cause I'm afraid for people to come by me. Cause I ain't clean up yet, I don't want nobody see. My rooms are paint up, my curtains air wash. So I'm going house to house, looking for my paintbrush. Yeah man, Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration.
I was on the corner when the parang band passed. I say I go follow them to get some drinks in my glass. The parang was easy, it wasn't no fuss. And when they strike it up, I join in with the chorus. Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration.
Yeah, man.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace and love, joy and celebration. Merry Christmas, everyone.
We'll conclude tonight's program with two traditional favorites. The Rexburg Children's Choir present a remarkable version of Handel's For Unto Us a Child is Born, using virtual green screen technology. Then we'll close with the introduction to a new Christmas tradition in China, inspired by the classic German carol Silent Night, performed in Chinese by friends from the Chinese Christian Church of Columbia.
Unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, unto us a son is given. For unto us a child is born, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, unto us a son is given. For unto us a child is born, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
The popular Christmas carol Silent Night was written in times like our own, when the world needed peace. The word was written by an Austrian pastor in 1816, just a year after the end of Napoleon's War, which has devastated Europe for over a decade. Since then, it has been translated over 300 languages and even gained UNESCO status as an international cultural heritage. The Chinese song's title is 平安夜, and since that title sounds like 苹果, the Mandarin Chinese word for apple, the song has given rise to an interesting new custom. On Christmas Eve, many young people give decorated apples to friends, lovers, and co-workers. According to the LA Times, the tradition dates back at least a dozen years. Regular apples are wrapped in colorful paper or decorated box, and sometimes the apple have been painted with words like Merry Christmas. It isn't unusual to find apples for sale at your local market for 2 or 3 times the normal price. In the days before Christmas Eve, some lovers take the tradition even further, insisting that the gift shows extra effort. For example, the buyer must go to the trouble to collect small coins from more than a dozen friends instead of simply spending his own money. The apples must be painted and wrapped in a special way that reflects his or her own love. How fitting it is for the people of China to find a beautiful new way to celebrate Christmas, the holiday that honors the silent night, long ago when Jesus showed his love in a reckless way, sending Jesus Christ collect our many sins and in exchange, give believers his precious external peace. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of Silent Night from the members of the Chinese Christian Church of Columbia.
平安夜，圣山夜，平安夜，圣山夜，平安夜，圣山夜，平安夜，圣山夜，平安夜，圣山，平安夜，圣山夜。
平安夜，圣山夜，万众光华生，照着圣母夜，照着圣婴，多少次上有多少天真，今生天赐安眠，今生天赐安眠。平安夜，圣山夜，牧羊人在旷野，忽然看见了天上光环，听见天使唱哈利路亚，救主今夜降生，救主今夜降生。平安夜，圣山夜，神子爱，光皎洁，
Thank you again for joining us. Do you know about International Friendship Ministries' weekly Friday evening program by Zoom? This decade-old program gives international visitors the chance to interact with Americans around high-interest topics and also provides free English lessons at various levels. Both Americans and our foreign-born friends are welcome. Take a picture of your screen for contact info and email us for more information. We'll end with more footage showing the fun and variety at the Columbia International Festival. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to register for updates. We hope to present similar multicultural evenings on YouTube soon. If you would like to contribute a segment about your country, please contact us. On behalf of Dr. Lurie, the Columbia International Festival Volunteer Committee, and our sponsors, we wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.